Alright, so before this video starts, I would like to say that at this point in time when this video was recorded, I was really at a low point in terms of mental health. You guys know the story, of course, you've seen the video on my channel. So if I seem a little bit sad or a little bit unmotivated, that's because I was. Anyways, I still try to make the best of this video, and even though I was feeling like crap for most of the weekend, it's still a normal video that you're used to. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. Hey guys, what's up, RedExions here, and welcome back to this brand new video. And today we are back at Kerpen for round 3 of the Dutch Rotax Max Challenge. So yeah, it's yet another Rotax race for us this weekend, and this time we are at my, well, almost my favorite track, because I'm kind of losing the love for this place, I don't know why. But yeah, this is usually one of the strongest tracks for us of the year, so let's see what we can do. Last time we were here with the ID shifter. We almost won the race, just 1 point short, which was unfortunate. And also in 2019, of course, we got our one and only podium so far, so let's see if we can do it again this year. Yeah, it's Thursday evening now, I've just arrived, and well, I'm not really feeling that well. You will of course have seen the other video about well, an update on my health and stuff. But yeah, I'm going to try to make the best of it. I'm glad that I'm here, away from all the crap that's going on in my head. So yeah, let's make a fun weekend out of this one. Look what we found here, guys. It's a frog or a toad, I don't know. Do you guys know what this is? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, let me show you our crib for the weekend. So our tent is right here. It's actually in the same place as where it was when we were here for the Dutch Championship. But there's no electricity yet, so I have to use my phone to light up the place. But the inside of the tent, of course, hasn't really changed much. Here we have some food that I may or may not have been binge eating for the last hour that I've been here. Here's the kart, of course, still the Tony kart with the S3 stickers, sponsored by K Racing, of course. And here we actually have some barbecue stuff and an entire fridge, because we are staying at the track for the entire weekend, so we have to provide our own stuff. Tonight I'll be sleeping here in the van. It's well, it's the same as it has always been. Wait, let me turn on the lights. Boom, we have lights now. Of course, this has been made by our mechanic. He's not here, unfortunately. He is with his girlfriend, so I have this little empire to myself tonight. Yeah, I didn't bring my girlfriend this time, so yeah, I'm all alone, but that's okay. Anyways, guys, I'm going to catch some sleep, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace. Alrighty guys, good morning. Yeah, Friday, time for some free practice, and yeah, looking forward to doing some laps today. It's actually not really that warm, it's pretty cloudy, and well, that's good for us, because usually when it's sunny I struggle. So this weather is actually ideal. Yeah, there's quite a lot of rubber out on track, so I imagine that it's going to be very grippy, because the German and Belgian RMC were here not that long ago, so I think that's a leftover from those days. And also last time we were testing here, so much grip that we went on 2 wheels, but then it was also very sunny, so yeah, let's hope it's a little bit less grippy today. So, let's see how it goes today. Alright guys, welcome to Germany, welcome to Circuit Erftlandring Kerpen, and also welcome back aboard the LN kart from last year. Yeah, we're back on the Lando Norris kart, because we actually had a problem with our Tony kart that you just saw. Yeah, there was just some issue with it and we couldn't use it for the first session. Anyways, let's first dive into a hot lap of this amazing track. Here we come onto the start-finish straight, going into turn 1, which is not even a corner in a kart, it's completely flat out, then braking hard for turn 2, the first real corner, a great overtaking spot and a very slow right-hand hairpin. Then we go into the most difficult corner of the track, a left-hand downward 90-degree turn with a very late apex, then into turn 4, the best overtaking spot of the entire track, onto a curb, then into a chicane, into the foresty part. This is what gives Kerpen the magic. Then we go into a fast left-hander, into another very difficult chicane in which you take a lot of curb there on the late part, which flows into a hairpin, and you take a lot of curb there on the exit, then onto the back straight, into one of the best corners of the entire calendar, Mootkurve, which is German for bravery corner, flat out, then into the famous Schumacher chicane, which Kerpen is known for, which flows into a double apex left-hander, which is also the last corner, and that's already a hot lap of Kerpen. Like I said, this track is legendary. The greats like Michael Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel, Nico Hülkenberg, Lewis Hamilton, they have all raced here, and especially Michael Schumacher and Seb Vettel, they have raced here a lot. This track, until recently, was actually owned by Michael Schumacher until he had a skiing incident, unfortunately. And after that, it was owned by Ralf Schumacher, his brother, of course. And yeah, historically, we've had quite a few successes at this track. We got our first podium in Rotax here. We almost won the ID shifter race that we had here at the beginning of the season. So yeah, it's one of my favorites. And yeah, this track is full of history. Anyways, we were experiencing some minor problems, however, on the Friday of testing. And that is that there was so much grip with the new asphalt. The track got resurfaced recently. That we had a little bit too much grip. Yeah, for some corners we even went up on 2 wheels, which is of course not what you want. Karts have so much grip that you can literally flip if you turn the wheel too hard or turn in too aggressively or take too much speed into a tight corner. So yeah, we definitely needed to do some work on the setup, like decrease some grip. And one thing you can do to decrease grip is to replace your standard MXJ wheels with MXC wheels, which is what we did here. And also, if you want to get a brand new set of MXC wheels, I have just a thing for you. K-Racing has now a discount code in which you can get 15% off of all OTK parts. And even if you're not on an OTK chassis, it's still very useful for you. For example, the MXC and the MXJ wheels both work great with other kart brands. Normally these wheels, especially the MXC wheels, can be a little bit pricey, so definitely use the code OTK15. By doing so, you'll save 15% on checkout. Karting is already expensive enough, so any money you can save while shopping, just do it, man. Anyways, back to this testing day. Like I said, at this point we had problems with going on 2 wheels. And here you can see a perfect example of it. We go into the corner as usual, but you can see that the kart almost want to flip. You saw it very slowly come up there. It's just annoying, man. You really can't do anything about it. It's just the curse that I'm a little bit tall for a karting driver, so our center of gravity is a little bit high. To be honest, it does give some cool pictures, but it's not really fast. Speaking of cool pictures, go follow me on Instagram. It's on screen right now. There's some interesting stuff. I've actually set up a new page in which I offer some brand new services for you guys, so definitely go check that out as well. That's on screen right now as well. Anyways, those are enough shameless plugs for my own Instagram pages. Yeah, let's just end this day. Alright guys, today is done. Kart feels okay. Do have a little bit of issues with going on 2 wheels, as you saw. Like I went on 2 wheels more times than you can count, so that's not good. But I have a good feeling that tomorrow with fresh tires and a quick engine, it will all be okay. We got the Tony kart fixed up. It's all good to go tomorrow, so we're going to test that. If it still doesn't work tomorrow, we'll just switch to the LN and then yeah, that's just the only option. But now, time to have food. Ah, gast. Cheers, guys.
Ik ging ervan uit. Dat ga je moet zien. Dat is cool.
Cool, hè? Oh, ik vind het echt niet lekker eigenlijk, maar ja. Well guys, this is what happens when you leave your candy in the sun. Look at this, guys. They're sweeping the track, which is really good because after the renovation there's actually a lot of dirt out on track and now they're cleaning it. That's good. But yeah, now it's time for a track walk or track ride because I'm on the electric scooter, but yeah, time to relax a little bit because I feel like shit. Alrighty guys, that was the track walk. Now time to play a little... Oh no, don't fall. Dat staat erop. Yes, was saying now time to play housemate. I'm going to give the tent a little bit of a groom. So yeah, very nice. Nou, op zich, het is wel gewoon een goeie ouwe, maar het is wel een beetje overrated. Ja, nou ja, het is toch Nederlands, dus verstaan de mensen. Ze weten toch niet waar we het over hebben? Yeah guys, the feeling that you get here when you're walking, it's indescribable. If you've ever been at Kerpen, it's an amazing track of course, but also this track walk in nature, in this big elevation changing historical track. It's just something else. If you've never experienced it, it's indescribable, man. Just come here, even if you're not karting, if you live close, just come here, it's worth it. It's so much history here, super cool. Alright guys, time to go to bed. Yeah, feeling good. We're not the fastest, but I feel good in here, and that's more important in my opinion. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I think we can improve massively tomorrow, so that's cool. Now time to go to bed. It's actually quite cold, so I'm going to put on some warm clothes and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, hello guys, good morning. It is day 2, it is Saturday and it's time for free practice. The day started off really well. I put the keys from the van in the van and then the van locked itself up and then we had to take out the windows to get the keys, so that was very nice. Yeah man.
Ja man.
Yeah. But yeah, we just did the first session. It was already better than yesterday. The Tony kart feels really good. We also found some time in the engine and in the sprocket setup, so that's good. So we're now going to use the GoPro and let's see how it goes then. Alrighty then, day 2. As you can see, we are back on the Tony kart. We put the LN kart back into the van because the Tony kart is the chassis in which we were doing the race. If you guys didn't know, the Lando Norris kart and the Tony kart are exactly the same. The only thing that's different is the color. Also, of course, we are running the Esprit sticker set, which is sponsored by K Racing. Unfortunately, I don't have an Esprit chassis. Yeah, they're all the same. Esprit, Tony kart, Red Speed, Lando Norris kart, all of them are the same, just the color is different. Anyways, the problem with the Tony kart is fixed, so we are back on it. One thing that's not fixed, however, is the fact that we are still going on 2 wheels, as you can see on screen right here. We just had so much grip that for some reason the car just decided to go up on 2 wheels almost every time we went out, which is annoying. So one thing to combat this is to decrease the amount of grip on the kart, for example by taking off some caster at the front. Caster is the angle with which the front tires are located on the kart and are kind of pushing on the asphalt. By decreasing the amount of degrees of caster that are on the kart, you will remove some grip from the front, which should, in theory, remove some grip from the kart, which makes it go on 2 wheels a little bit less often. So yeah, we knew what we had to do in terms of setup, we were going to change that. The session after this I unfortunately didn't put on the GoPro because we changed the engine. But yeah, we also had a little bit of a moment of which you can see the aftermath here. I think this is supposed to be straight. So yeah, in that crash in the previous session our steering rod got bent, which is luckily easily replaced. But what also happened is that our chassis took a little bit of a knock. And when the chassis takes a knock, it gets bent. And of course you can imagine that a bent chassis is not ideal. So what we had to do then is to put it on the straightening table, which basically makes it possible for you to kind of bend it back into the original shape. But of course it will never be the same as it was before. And I definitely started to notice that here. We went up on 2 wheels again massively, a lot. The car just felt like trash, and yeah, we just basically lost all the speed that we had. So that was definitely alarming and not the best way to end the Saturday. Cleaning time. Yeah, I actually wanted to clean it before we got here, but I didn't have time. And now, Saturday evening, I do have time, so let's go clean it, of course. And you guys know what I use. Total Wax for the helmet, visor cleaner for the visor, and just use a microfiber cloth to do everything. Very nice. Maybe it'll be quicker because the helmet's more aerodynamic tomorrow. Who knows? Alright guys, that was the Saturday. Strange. Yeah, we'll just see what tomorrow brings. Now time to catch some Z's, and then I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye bye. Oh. Well, hello guys, good morning. Race day. Yeah, I am having a nice pancake breakfast. Look at this. Almost looks like someone nutted on my on my plate and then put it in a pan. But yeah, we actually still don't know how our pace looks because of the things that happened yesterday. So it's going to be an interesting day. Yeah, I'm just curious where we are. Alright people, welcome to qualifying. Qualifying in karting is something that to most people who are not familiar with karting is something completely alien. Unlike F1, you actually want to be in traffic here, or not traffic, you want to be in the slipstream or the dirty air of someone else. Unlike F1, karts don't really have downforce. If you're following someone really closely, you do notice a little bit of understeer because of some air pressure that is not, on your front bumper. But in general, it is actually beneficial to be very close behind someone, like we are right here. And another thing which is very interesting about especially my class, we are on the Mojo D5 tire, and the Mojo D5 tire has a peak of performance in the first 2 or 3 laps, which is like 4/10. So the first 2 or 3 laps are 4/10 quicker than the rest you can do on the tire. So it's very important that you get a good qualifying position or track position, which we had here. So let's ride on board for the hot lap of this weekend. ouch. P22 is not what you want. Actually, it is a big improvement over the last 2 qualifying sessions we had in the Dutch Championship, because in those 2 we didn't set a lap time due to mechanical failures. But yeah, P22 is definitely not where you want to be, and definitely not where I should be in the Dutch Championship. Usually we're around this in the BNL series, which is a little bit higher level than the Dutch Championship. So yeah, I was not really too happy about that. Yeah, we were just lacking speed. If that is my driving or the chassis or both, I don't know. We were just lacking speed. Let's see what we can do in the pre-final.
Dus deze, de man.
Alright guys, time for the pre-final. If you're new to this channel, the pre-final and the final are the 2 main races of the weekend. We are now at the pre-final. This is basically a qualifying race which determines the starting position for the final. And the final determines the final day result basically. Anyways, we have a rolling start, we roll into the tram lines now, 5 red lights, and away we go. We get a really poor getaway, which is something that we haven't really gotten this year, but usually our starts have been quite good. But yeah, the start does not only consist of the initial getaway, but also of the first lap. And there you can see we go around the outside, we overtake 3 people, which is a really good start. Yeah, like I've said many times, this season, the first lap, we have always gained positions. And this, actually, is our worst lap 1 of the season, because we have only gained 3 positions. If you remember back to our last race, we gained 15 positions on the first lap, which is insane. But yeah, here we unfortunately didn't manage to do that, because we had a little bit of a poor getaway, and also our speed is just not the best this race, which is unfortunate. But yeah, let's just see how much we can make of it. I already knew going into this race that if I wanted to gain some positions, I had to do it at the start and then defend like an absolute asshole for the rest of the race. Now going on to lap 2, you can see that we're slipstreaming. We definitely have the straight line speed in this race. You can see that the 333 goes for a move to 315, and once someone ahead of you decides to go for an overtake, you really have to follow him through. And you saw that someone else had a little bit of an issue, so we overtook him again, or we overtook him as well, and we're now up into P18. There you can see that the 357 gets a little bit of a poor exit there, because he got tangled up in a little bit of chaos there. Now we skip a little bit further ahead into the race. We are now on lap 3, and we decide to go for an attack on the 333, but we are a little bit too far behind to do a dive bomb, so we decide to stick behind him here. But he gets a poor exit, so we sneak it up the inside into the next corner, which is a really cheeky move, but we actually do manage to make it work. P17, boom, job done. There you see that the 357 and the guy ahead of him also had a little bit of a tangle up, so we gain another 2 positions. That's how quick it can go in kart races. They're so chaotic. Yeah, again, if you're new to this channel, kart racing is so much more chaotic and so much more action-packed than whatever form of motorsport there is out there. And if you are enjoying it, then please consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons. You know, you really help me when you do that. We're trying to get this channel to 100k, and it's going really well, but I would appreciate it enormously if you would hit those 2 buttons right there. Anyway, skipping ahead a little bit further into the race, we are now onto lap 4. You can see that someone has a little bit of a mechanical issue and he retired from the race, so that's another position. We are now up into P14, so yeah, it's going well. We're gaining in a few places here and there, but we are a little bit too slow. Now skipping ahead to lap 6. Yeah, there was a really quick driver behind us who got taken out on lap 2. There you can see him, the 342. We actually had to avoid him because he did a very suicidal dive bomb. But he was very quick. He actually set a new lap record at this track in our class. So he definitely had the speed that we didn't have. So I decided to follow him. You can just see him bolting away. Our main issue this weekend had been speed from the middle of the corner towards the exit. And you can see that from every apex up until the you know, the straight, he just pulls away. Then here, lap 6 again, we just get overtaken by the 357. We were just too slow. I really couldn't keep up with most of the field, which is another great lesson for the final. Like I said in this race, if I wanted to make something of it, I had to gain most places at the start and then just defend like an asshole. But unfortunately the gaps here were a little bit too big. No, fortunately for us the gaps were a little bit big, so we didn't really have to defend because there was a little bit of margin between each driver. You don't really see it, but I was looking behind me constantly, which is something you actually shouldn't do. I know, but yeah, I'm guilty of it like so many other drivers. By that I knew that I had a little bit of breathing room actually. But here we get overtaken by Ralph, our good friend which you have seen in the video. It's the guy with the curly hair. Yeah, he's just a great friend of mine. He did overtake us in the race there, and he was actually P4 in the championship at this moment because he actually got some pretty decent results so far this year, even though his speed hasn't been quite what it should be. I know he's a lot quicker than what he is right now in the races, but yeah, he just hasn't had luck on his side this season, unfortunately. You can see here that he's a little bit quicker than us now going on to the last lap. Yeah, he managed to pull out this gap in 4 laps, which is quite severe. We were really a lot off the pace. But yeah, coming around the final corner around about now, almost going up on 2 wheels again. We finished the 16 lap race in P17, but because Ralph, I think, got a penalty, we got moved up 1 more place, or not Ralph, someone else got a penalty in front of us. And yeah, that meant P16. So we gained 6 places, which is okay. Of course you want to gain more when you're starting in P22, but 6 is what we managed to do. So that's what we have to do it with. And yeah, you can see that by our lap times. We finished in P16, we did a 45.0 or yeah, 45.0. The fast guy did 44.3. So we're about 7/10 of the pace, but yeah, I knew that already. Let's just see what we can do in the final. Alright guys, welcome to the final. Yeah, like I said, this race really determines the final day result, so it was important that we gained some more positions here. We roll onto the tram lines now, 5 red lights, and away we go. Again, you can see that our initial getaway isn't really that good, but like I said, we are a master of lap 1. So here we again brake around the outside, we gain about 3 places. Maybe we can turn that into 4 places. Yes, we can, because the guy ahead of us has a little bit of a tangle with the 342, who also had a tangle in the first race. And there you can see 2 guys on the outside also had a little bit of a tangle. So we're now up into the top 10 already. There we got a big shunt from behind. You saw that by the way that my steering wheel moved. Luckily that didn't cost us any positions. We are now in P10. And yeah, it's really been a dream start again, gaining 6 places before we even cross the line for lap 2. You do see, however, that we get a little bit of a poor exit and another shunt from behind, and now we have a very big gap to the rest of the field. But luckily in the first lap you can kind of gain it back. Here you can see we kind of gain it back on the braking because we have no karts ahead of us which we need to brake for. Then going on to lap 2, here you can see that a lot of guys go defensive there. There's a little bit of action and they kind of touch and they all get a poor exit, so we gain 2 places. We're now up into P8, but the 342 kept his nose in there, so he didn't really consolidate the position, and here he dive bombs us into the next corner, which makes us lose 3 positions. But yeah, that's karting. If you're not the one who eats people, you'll be the one who gets eaten. So yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. Then skipping ahead a little bit further up into lap 4 now, you can see that they again pulled away because we were just too slow. We are still in P11. But there on the exit you can see that 2 people actually mount each other, so that's another 2 places that we gain there. Like I said, kart races are so chaotic, there are so much things happening at once, you really don't have enough time to react to all of it. That's why I'm often behind with my commentary, because there's just so much happening and I can't really respond to all of it in time. It's just so insane. That's also one of the reasons why I think karting is better than F1. There's just so much happening. If you're ever bored, go watch some other kart races, not even on my channel, well, you should of course, but go look on TDI Media, for example. Those are some UK kart races. Crazy. I love to watch those things. Anyway, skipping ahead a little bit later in the race, we go to lap 10 now actually, which is quite far up the road already. Like I told you, I am way too slow. You can see the gap that we have in front. I was just way too slow. I was defending like crazy to keep this P9 because I knew it wasn't going to get any better than this. So I was defending into every corner here, taking a very wide, or not wide entry line. I'm taking a very tight line, so that people cannot sneak it up the inside. This part of the track it's kind of hard to overtake, so you don't really have to defend here, and you cannot even really defend here. So for this I could just use my regular lines, but in the end 5 laps later we did actually get overtaken by the 355 there, our fellow YouTuber. And you can see that ahead of us there's a kart going kind of slowly, and we're catching up to him very quickly. Which is actually the teammate of the 355, and what I didn't know at this time was that the reason that he was going this slow is because he actually ended up getting a puncture. And there you can see he gets a poor exit, he lets his teammate through there, doesn't really give him too much trouble, but here now we are stuck behind the guy with the flat tire, and I didn't really know why he didn't get a meatball flag. I think the officials didn't really see that he had a flat tire. Here you can see he holds us up massively on the exit there, and actually on the left hand side we had someone pulling alongside now, because the kink on the straight is to the right. We keep the position. Here I kind of tried to push him out of the way because he wasn't only holding up us, but he was also holding up himself. So I tried to tried to kind of give him a little bit of a bump so that he would move out of the way, which is actually allowed in karting, but then disaster struck. Yeah, we have yet another DNF in the championship. I really don't know when the bad luck is going to end. Well, the reason I actually DNF'd there was because I got pushed wide onto the bollards. The bollards kind of destroyed my bumper. It made it fold under the kart, and when that happens you get massive understeer and you will destroy your bumper. So yeah, I had no choice but to put into the pits there, and that was the end of the race for us. So yeah, that's a really frustrating end to a weekend that wasn't really going that well to begin with. Yeah, like I said, I really hope our luck is going to change in the future. Anyways guys, with that also comes the end to this video. Now if you enjoyed that, like always, please consider hitting those like and subscribe buttons. You help me so much when you do that. Because of you guys, I can still do my passion, which is racing. And as a thank you, that's why I'm making this content. And if you enjoy it, please reward it with those likes and subscribes. It helps me so much. I can keep making content. And maybe I can even continue next year, because next year it's not certain that I will be racing. Now the last race of the championship actually went a lot better than this. We had crazy speed, we had a crazy first lap in which we overtook 16 people in one lap. If you want to see how that went, it's on screen right here. This video however is done, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.